What is up, YouTube? How you doing? This is Dave. I'm here in the SS, clearly, and I'm doing a quick right calibration. That's why you're hearing the beeping and everything in the background, so my apologies for that. Got another GoPro set up out here. We're going to do a little bit of driving, nothing too fancy, but I'm going to do a little video kind of like what's in store for the SS. So just finished up writing the config file. I'm going to shut this down, and then we're going to get out of here and do a little bit of driving with her. So let's do that, shut it down, so now we don't have to hear that beeping all the time. And then we're going to talk a little bit about, like, what is in store for the SS. So what am I planning on doing? Clearly, I can't live without the boost, right? So for right now, I'm going to have to. So let's get her fired up. There you go. She still sounds good, though, so I can't really complain about that. But let's get on the road. Let's do a lot. So, a familiar place. We're out here on the road. We're just getting some mileage on it, driving her around a little. I'll get her in the garage. I'll talk about the grand plan a little bit more once I get there, but I'm going to take her over. I got about a quarter of a tank left, but the funny thing is with E, when you're boosted, it's brutal. Like, so it's just, you're just watching it go down. But actually on NA, she's shockingly good on fuel. So I've been driving around with, you know, a little bit more than a quarter of a tank for a while, and it actually hasn't been too bad. So what I need to do is get a wide open throttle pull on it. It feels good. The air is super crisp. So I'm probably gonna I'm gonna do a log right now. Let's see if she is turning on. See, the darn screen is all yucky. All right, here we go. Now it's going, so we're good. Just see what it's doing. Hopefully we don't have any of our buddies around here, but we'll see how it goes. All right, not bad. Not a bad pull. Not a bad pull. Definitely felt a lot better there, though. So you can hear that whine. You hear that whine? That's the rear. That's the rear making all the noise. So, yeah, I probably made a stupid face while we were doing the pull. But she definitely felt good, actually. She felt really good. So, Derek's getting the tune honed in. So, for right now, if you guys remember, I did not do any... I did not change the cam in it, so I pulled everything off, and then I didn't really change the cam or anything like that, but she did feel good on that pull, so that's positive. And we'll do another pull going back the other direction. We'll see how she feels with that. All right, guys, like I said, we're back here in the garage. SS is cooling down. Hard to look under that engine compartment, you know, under the hood there, and see an NA setup on it. But I will say that the tune is definitely on point. So if you're looking for remote tuning, or if you're down in the southeast region, like around Louisiana, in that area, definitely check out Derek Dunbar at DD Tech Tuning. The guy's awesome to work with. Link will be below, link will be in the description, all that good stuff. If you want to talk to me about my experience, I've gone with a lot of folks. I've had some really awesome people to work with that don't really do, they prefer to have the car near them. I've worked with not so great people. It's just been a little bit frustrating. I will not blast people on here. That's not fair. They're not here to defend themselves. I'm a small channel. I doubt they're watching. But if you want good tuning, you know, awesome customer service, really ridiculously, almost borderline obscenely fast turnaround, and a car that runs its ass off, check out Derek. So cheap plug. But what's going on here? There's a lot going on here. My doggy barking out there, so we'll make this quick. I love the NA, right? I love the way the car is driving. No complaints. But I do miss boost, right? And there's some stuff that went on. I had to get rid of this stuff. I got a really great deal on it. I need to get back to it. So it's hurting not to have it. So what I'm planning on doing is one of two things, and I'll let you guys have some decision in that. So I left the bung on the gas tank from DSX, so the aux pump, I could easily put one back on. E85's still there. Pulling an intake off and putting an LSA back on, pretty darn simple. I do another Garrett 2 5-inch intake. Obviously I'd shelve the Rotofab. But this time around, what we would end up doing is, going with a proper throttle body, a bigger one. I still got the ATI Bouncer and the Boostmaster. So it's, either way, boost is going to be really easy of the supercharged variety. I'm not going to go with a turbo. I thought about it quite a bit. I'm a little concerned with the underhood heat situation. I've seen some folks lately have some underhood fires. Beautiful work. The guys who are doing it, they're swamped with work, so it's going to take an awful long time. So that leaves me a couple decisions, right? Do I go LSA again? Go max effort? Maybe do something with like the DSX lid and the CSR brick with like a high-end heat exchanger in here. I got one over here. Is the AFCO ZL1. A lot of guys have used that before. That is an awesome heat exchanger. I'll be able to fit that. I'd have to do similar stuff like with the not this guy over here for the wiper reservoir. So, but, doing an LSA, max effort, ice tank in the back, pretty straightforward. You may have remembered I've done that before, so very easy to do again. And this is one of the ones I'm leaning to, I've talked to Derek about it a few times, go with a ProCharger. Now, here's my problem with the ProCharger. I think it's awesome. It can make huge power. We got some guys in the Tri-State Hold'ems group who run the ProCharger, and they are very, very fast. By far, some of the fastest guys in the group. Why would I want to do that? Well, because you get kind of a blend of both, right? You get the supercharged aspect, so the belt drive, so you're instantaneously getting into boost. You're not getting the huge instantaneous torque that you would get, but you're constantly pulling. So it feels like a turbo, but you get that down low initial hit. It's not like a root style blower like the LSA would be, but that would actually probably help a bit on the launch. So my beef with the ProCharger is how they mount it on the SS. So picture, kind of forget that this is all here. They put the ProCharger right here with an earlier generation bracket, and it puts the outlet this way, so then you got to make a hard 90, then you drop down, it kind of loops back this way, drops down, and brings it through here, through the heat exchanger, and then you come back up, right? So it's an air-to-air heat exchanger. But the intake to it comes up over the damn engine. So it's like, do you want to put hot air in the damn thing? Because that's so dumb that they did it that way. Because I've seen it on Camaros where they actually come out the back of this and then come out and go this way. So I don't know why they can't do that. I might be able to find out, but I'm looking for somebody who will let me borrow the bracket so I can kind of do some measurements, because there's a possible alternative. I could potentially use the SS bracket. It would mount in a similar location. And when I say SS, I'm sorry, Camaro SS. And that allows some positioning. It's a much more robust bracket, and I might be able to point it downward. And then, it would follow a similar path if it was an air-to-air. Or possibly put it over here using C6 brackets. Now, there is a guy, picture is going to show right now. He was successful doing it on a PPV, and it looks awesome, and it's the drive that I always want to use. I just, looking at my SS and looking what he did, I don't know how the hell he fit it. So there is definitely some things moved around. I know this, I've talked to him quite a bit. This has to get, this will be moved. This is going to have to get trimmed a bit. But he was able to fit it. So I got to go and look a little bit more closely. And I think you might even have to move the computer there. But I'm going to look into it. I'll report back, because that pulls the blower much tighter into the block. You don't have belt flex issue, or belt flex, I'm sorry. You don't have bracket flex issues, which is a problem with the SS G8 style one, the Holden cars. So I'm looking into that to see if we can do it. The other thing that kind of sucks about that, though, is like the G8 SS setup has a dedicated drive, which is what I want. You know, I like that because if you rip a belt off, you could still rig the thing up to get it home. With the Corvette style, it's tighter in, but if you lose, if you lose the belt, you lose everything, right? You lose your water pump, you lose everything, but it's a whole full serpentine setup. So I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what I would need to do. Regardless, I would have to get the injectors and all that crap. But I'm looking into it. I want to hear what you guys have to say, because the other part of this is if I do go Procharger, I may still go ice tank. And then what I would probably do is big air-to-water heat exchanger up front. But then what I would do is actually turn it 90, come back around, and come back up, and go into a Tick Performance. It's a Holley low-rise manifold setup with the Tick Performance 1400 horsepower heat exchanger brick in it. So like instead of the CSR and the LSA, it's this giant brick that basically sits between the intake and the cylinder heads, so the lower manifold, and it fits inside this car. So I would be able to do that, and then I would use an air-to-water. I would use a PNR welding tank in the back. The infrastructure, like I said, is still there. I'd use a giant heat exchanger up front, so I'd be able to get that. I'd be able to get good airflow to it, and I'd be able to put ice in it at the track. So that's one of the things that with the SS setup, the original, like the normal one, you can't do that. So I already talked to Bob at Brute Speed, and I don't know if you guys remember that name or even know who that is, but he's a legend in the in the LS1 tech community. Bob's still doing great. He's still big Procharger guy. I've been working with him a little bit, trying to figure out like different types of configurations. So I'm leaning in that direction just because I already did the LSA setup. So we'll see what happens there. I'm going to keep the ZL1 converter for now just because I don't want to tear that all apart unless I need to. We'll see how it goes. But, that's it for today, guys. I'm going to give you the choice. You tell me what you want me to do on this. Either way, I appreciate you guys watching. If you're new to the channel, by all means, give me a like, hit the subscribe button. The more people like, the more I get to, gets the YouTube algorithm thing and people watch it more. So I appreciate anything you guys will do. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. We're going to keep pumping out videos. We're going to be doing some stuff on that guy over there. I got some plans for that. But it's good to be back. We're getting into Christmas and winter, so that's the time when we work on cars, guys. So take care, keep the shiny side up, and we'll catch you next time.